could not get to sleep. It was on my wedding night. I was tangled in the sheets. I was dreaming of a light pouring from her window, coming up through the floor, lifting up the darkness, crashing through my kitchen door. Those are the lyrics from a song by John Hyatt. He's a semi-popular singer-songwriter. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him. Anybody heard of John Hyatt? Yeah. He's awesome. He's been my favorite for about 25 years. And that song particularly is called Dust Down a Country Road. And it's a song about a guy who's kind of struggling with the fact that he's lost his wife. And the song goes on to describe the simple times that they had together. Going down to their oak table where they used to sit and have a cup of coffee, maybe go out for a little walk. The anguish of his struggle on his wedding night as he remembers all this compared to the pleasant memories when they were together. He creates these beautiful images and pictures. And that song goes on to describe this dog, this simple kind of a country home, and this dog that doesn't do much besides lie in the front porch and watch the occasional car drive down this dusty dirt road. And in the chorus, each chorus ends with there's an old dog staring at the dust down the country road. And that song, I think the first time that it really jumped out and grabbed me was when I finally heard the lyric, if I had a bullet, I'd put it in this gun, and I'd catch that old dog napping, and I'd shoot him before he runs. I thought, what the fuck, is he going to shoot his dog? And so I started listening to it more, and I started getting into the lyrics. I started trying to figure out, what is this dog anyway? And I decided it was kind of a metaphor for that part of him that had refused to pick up and move on after he had lost his wife. And I thought, well, that was pretty cool, kind of interesting, and I could relate to it as a happily married guy that, if I had lost my wife, it would be hard to pick up and move on. And then about 5 years later, I got divorced. And I found myself in a situation where I had to be the guy to pick himself up and move on. And I started listening to that song completely differently. It still made sense, but it was something completely different. And it was along about this time that John Hyatt came to town. He came to the Montage Grill on Chestnut Street, which is a pretty small venue. And for somebody who's had Grammys and had, music on the charts for 15, 20 years at that time, to come to a crowd of 150, 200 people was pretty cool. So I got my tickets, and since it was a small venue, I also brought his latest CD and a Sharpie. I thought maybe I would get a chance to get his autograph. And I started thinking, well, if I get a chance to talk to him, what would I say? And I thought, well, maybe I'll ask him about Dust Down a Country Road. What does it really mean? And so I went to the show. It was a great show. We played about an hour and a half of acoustic, and then it cleared out. And the roadies are putting everything away, and I'm waiting to see, the place is getting empty, waiting to see if John comes out. It doesn't look like he's going to come back out, and so I went to one of the roadies and I said, if you take this CD, do you think you could get John Hyatt's autograph for me? And he said, no, but if you want, you can wait out back by the bus. I said, well, okay, I'll wait out back by the bus if that's a thing. So I go back there, and I see about a half a dozen other John Hyatt geeks kind of standing out there. So I kind of took my place among my people. And I started feeling like a little 13-year-old schoolgirl waiting for a Hannah Montana or Justin Bieber. I got my merch, I got my Sharpie, and I'm waiting for John. So eventually he comes out looking a lot like a 4-year-old guy who's still on the road and is tired and worn out and just wants to get on the bus and go home and get some sleep. But he was nice enough. He signed all our stuff. And I shook his hand. I told him I loved his work. And then just like that, he was off getting on the bus. And so I panicked and I shouted out, just one question! Like I was at a press conference. So he's getting on the bus and he stops and he says, yeah, what's that? And I yell, Dust Down a Country Road! And he chuckles. Like maybe he's heard this before. And I'm thinking, this is it. I'm actually talking to the author. I'm going to ask about song lyrics to the guy that actually composed it. This could be my one chance to ever do this. And And I yelled, "Did she die or just leave him?" He stopped, took a deep breath, and he said, "Oh, I don't know." It's kind of hard to tell about these things sometimes. And he gets on the bus and the doors close behind him. I thought, what a dick! Didn't answer my question at all. But then I got over the initial, I don't know, frustration. And I thought about it some more. And I started thinking about storytelling. And I started thinking about, if he revealed every detail, he could tell a very specific story about a very specific person. But if you could paint a picture and take somebody to a place, but leave out just enough details, they'll fill it in with their own personal experience. And suddenly, instead of telling a story about that guy, you've made a connection with everybody who was patient enough to listen to what you had to say. And in that song, he had done that to me, not once but twice, at very different points in my life. He had made a personal connection with me. And so I thought, did he answer my question? No, he did more than that. So thank you.